Hi, everyone. Welcome to Magic Monday. We are so very glad you're here. And I am thrilled that my friend SunPsychic Jean and Spirit Whisperer Mark are here with me today, and Alaska and various pets.
Alaska's back there.
Yeah,
Buttercup's right here with me too. They're both here in their stations.
good. Everyone is where they should be. And as are you, my friends out there listening. We're so glad that you're here today. We've got old friends and some new friends here today. Heavenly Blessed Honey, V. Joyle, first name, last name, Jenny Berlin, Joyful Journey, and let's see, Lena Ramirez Singh, CJ, um, Rishi Lahori, Carolyn Adams, and Ms. Sherlock are all here. Thank you so much for coming. Oh, and Teacher Barbara. Thanks for coming, everyone. Um, we are thrilled to be here as usual, and feel free to put your questions in the chat. We'd love it if you put them in all caps and emojis, just because it's easier to see on this side. And we will be taking questions at random. But yeah, before we jump in, Jean, what have you been up to lately? What's been happening for you?
I've been doing some private readings that have been really educational and mind expanding for sure. And I did a crystal infusion last evening. It was a sound bath and a meditation with Daphne and Stacy, and they had the crystals. Well, they had gold and diamond, and they had quartz and what is it? Calcite, orange calcite, which is one of my absolute favorites. And I was like, my heart leapt, it leaped with joy because she chose it. I'm like, oh, I love it. And it was, and then we did a meditation. So it was really very interesting. So I don't have it with me; it's in the other room. But there's a picture of a sacred geometry, and the
Mhm.
crystals are on four circles, and then the other two circles you have a clear glass of plain water, and then you put your crystal on the other circle. And I said there was like an optical illusion going on, like they said to look and focus on your water and set your intention, and then you focus. And when I was focusing on my water, in my peripheral vision I saw the crystal moving, and then as soon as I would look at the crystal, it would stop moving. And then as soon as I looked at my water, I could see in my peripheral vision it was moving. And I'm like, how's
Cool.
this happening already? It was so, I was like, is this me or what? But it was really very good, very well done. They did an excellent job. I love their presentations, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. And Stacy and I did learning how to connect to crystals on my show the week before to kind of get a little warm up a little bit, and that was fun.
I was going to mention that one. I saw that and I thought if anybody wants a really good introduction and just good information about crystals, look that one up too, because that was really very informative and very well presented. How about
And it
you,
was
Mark? Oh,
oh,
excuse me, Jean, go ahead.
I was just going to say it was about crystals in general. It wasn't like specific, but it was really informative. And if you were a beginner, it was good, and if you were advanced, it was good because it worked for all different types of crystals. And I thought that was good because I'm like, oh, there's so many. How are you gonna,
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it
it
was,
can be
yeah.
overwhelming.
Sorry.
Quite all right. And what's up with you, Mark? How are things going?
Fine and dandy. Not really much up. Tomorrow I'm going on with Gerald from Stash. But, just same old stuff. I have quite a few private sessions this week and just doing, just day by day. Everything's going fine. Yeah.
That sounds good. And I just want to mention to everyone, if listeners haven't heard some of Mark's political commentary shows, please check them out. It's so fun to see this whole new audience kind of discover the magic that is Spirit Whisperer Mark for the first time. It's really fun to read through some of those comments, and it's really fun to see what you say too.
Yeah.
I think
But
everything Mark does is fun. I love his animal, and he's rerunning his animal introductions and his stories about when he was a zookeeper. And I love the stories. I just absolutely love the stories. And thank goodness I just they're really good. Everything Mark does is really
Oh, you
good.
guys, stop.
okay, now we'll all get down to work here.
Yeah.
We have 13 questions already, and
Ooh.
we're going to kind of take these in random order. But I'm going to start with Heavenly Blessed Honey, because I believe you were the very first person here today. May I get a message from Archangel Michael for this month and July? Please and thank you. All right.
Very nice. So Sonia, just say hi and let us know that you're still here. And if we call you for your question, just let us know you're still here. That'd be great.
Okay.
You rock, Tammy Jackson. I was just talking to her on the animal show, and she was going to have to give her cat antibiotics.
Oh.
Which he hates. And I told her, well, I think he needs it. She went, he's pissed. Oh, that's very cute.
Thanks, Sonia. I'm getting that he's saying, why only this month? He's saying, I'm with you. I've always been with you. I'm always here at your, whenever you call. He's saying, you don't even have to call. You just have to think of me. He's saying that he has a very sincere devotion to humanity, and he takes what he does very seriously, and he is omnipresent with each and every one of us, and as with the free will, as long as we call on him, he can come in and assist. So he's just saying, yes, I've got your back. And he's saying that to believe in yourself, that you have the power of being resilient. And he's just, but you know how, like, when you're in gymnastics, they have the spotters so that when they do flips, they just like stand there just in case. Well, that's what Archangel Michael's doing for you. He's just spotting you because you got it going on.
When I tuned in, I felt just quite the resonance overall, but especially in my throat chakra. And it's sort of like he's saying, I'm here to give you strength, but the strength for you to use your own voice, for you to use your own voice and speak up, because there's some situations in the next month or two where you're going to need to practice that. It's not like something horrible is going to happen, but because you know he's there with you and kind of bringing up your resonance, you can tap into that and say what needs to be said in a strong but not confronting or combative way, somehow by blending with him blending with your energy, you're going to be able to stand up, speak up for yourself, and say what needs to be said in a way that's going to be easier for you. So just be aware of that, and instead of having things go through your mind afterwards or something, see if you can be in the moment, ask Archangel Michael, and know that he's going to be there with you and help you in those things. And when I pulled cards for you, I got the Archangel of Harmony, meaning that says bring in music. And bringing in music is great, but it's also about just that resonance, that vibration. You're going to be vibing at the same level somehow, and then I also pulled the white turkey. I don't think I've ever pulled this card before, and it said the power to heal the earth is within you. So something unique, something you don't see very often, but there's some healing and nature energy around you too. So I hope that is helpful to you. How about you, Mark? What did you get?
Okay. Hi, Heavenly Blessed Honey. I feel like the message is that there may be like a little pause going on, like a little respite, or sometimes it's it's the calm before the storm, but I don't mean storm as in negative. I mean just energy, so like there's a rest. So you might be in a little bit of a rest period. And it's because of energy, not because of anything you've done or haven't done. So just in case you notice that, he wants you to know that that's appropriate. The reason I'm saying that is because I get the hangman, and see how she's kind of going, la, la, la. She's just spinning a stick in the water, laying on a branch. So it's like a time to stop for a little bit. And I also got the Knight of Pentacles. And in this card, it looks kind of like he's on a mule instead of a horse, but it's just stopped. It's not moving forward. So again, it seems like a pause here for a bit. You may have gone through a little bit of a loss recently, and that might be why there's a little bit of a balancing time happening. Again, he doesn't want you to feel like it's because you're not working, right? You're not doing the spiritual work. He still sees you a leader of spiritual movement. So here we got the 9 of Wands. Wands for me is the spirit body, and see all those spirits behind you, and you're out in front leading. He still says that's what you're doing. Right now, you're just waiting for the next opportunity to come forward. So that's that little bit of there's a pause before the next step. We're talking about July here. So the end of the pause seems to be more the rest of this month, just the very beginning of July. And then we get into the Knight of Pentacles. We're back on the road again. We're moving. Look, we got 2 Knight of Pentacles. That's so weird because I switched decks. This one, he's on a mule and we're not going forward. When I said when the shift changes, this Knight of Pentacles, he's flying along on a motorbike. And there's like monies and stuff flying behind him. So, again, he's just talking about this little pause is necessary, but we're moving forward again. Love it. I hope that resonates.
Great. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for that question. I have 19 questions starred, so I think we're not going to be taking any more new ones right now. But let's jump in. And there was, let's see, one that I wanted to. Okay, Tammy Jackson. Can I get some help advice on how to navigate the intense energy we are all going through lately? End of last week has been really tough. So I think I wanted to get to this because I think that's something a lot of us can relate to. So let's see what comes up.
So, Tammy, what I'm picking up, and I do get this quite often, is there's things that are outside of our control, and there's things that we can control, and it's important to work on practicing discernment and understanding that the things that are out of our control are things that it's important to release to the universe, our angels, our spirit guides, and turn it over to them to work on worrying about it. And it's easier said than done, I understand. But and also what we can control is grounding and centering our own energies and working on keeping our even keel, so that if something happens, it's not going to affect our internal balance structure. It may tip us, but we'll come right back up. And strengthening this and being secure in our own body, so to speak, or in our own energy is really important to practice. And that would be chakra clearing, that would be auric field clearing, and grounding exercises, and connecting to your crystals, and doing things like this, little rituals or practices or ceremonies to help to ground yourself and help to center yourself. But it's really important to understand that there's things that are outside of some of our control, not all of us, but some of us, and that being emotional or tied to that outcome is really not serving our highest good. And it's important to trust that the light, the angels, the spirit guides, the universe, it'll all work out. It'll all work out because good always outweighs the not so good.
And right away, Tammy said, that's what I had to do last week. I had to surrender the situation. It had me so stressed, I almost passed out. Good work, Tammy. Okay, now I have to find your question over here. Here we go. What I got when I tuned in, right away, I saw a picture of somebody on a surfboard. And the thought came that when you're surfing, little movements, fine little adjustments to your position can make all the difference. So just kind of try to read the wave, read where you are, and are there subtle things that you could change about the way you're responding or the way you're dealing with things that could subtle changes that can really keep you on the board and keep you where you want to be. And then the other thought that they gave to me is you don't have to ride the highest wave or the biggest wave. You can kind of let one go by and, okay, I'm not going to ride that one. That's too high. That's too big. I'm going to catch this one. And then if things get too rocky, there's, subtle ways to jump off before you're, crashing in from the crest of the wave. And so kind of to do some analysis to pick the right wave. And once you get on the wave that's right for you, to focus on the subtle changes, kind of read the situation as much as possible. And then when I picked a card for you, it's another version of that. Archangel Azrael, about endings and beginnings. And just like each wave has a start and a beginning, everything on this world has an ending and a beginning. And to not be too thrown by that. There's always going to be another wave. It's not the end of the world if you're not going to ride this one in all the way, and be ready to gently accept change and just sort of float on till the next one. I know that wasn't very specific, but I hope that that's of some help to you. How about you, Mark?
Yeah. A little bit what you guys are already, touching on. For one thing, just right off the top, realize that the difficulty sometimes that there is just in getting through the day isn't necessarily, your fault. It's not because of something you've done or haven't done. Sometimes the energy is just the energy, especially these days. It can be really, a lot. So what they're telling me and reminding me of, one thing that helps is to stay grounded as much as possible. And some ways to do that, so they give me the High Priestess. Some ways to do that is put your feet on the earth, sit outside for a minute. My pets are really good for that for me. They help to ground me. I'll just sit with them. Just having them here helps a lot. That's probably why I have them, because I need a lot of grounding. But that, and they want to remind you of that. Mother Earth is here to support you. And in general, God, Source, Mother Earth, Source, which is the same thing, is here to help us all through that. So if it gets too difficult, just remind yourself that you are a child of the Creator, the magician. You're here on the earth to create magic. And remember that. Remember who you are. So take a moment. Oh, yeah, I'm here. And actually, right now, we're all looking to channel or bring love through and help anchor it into the earth more so than ever before. They remind me of that with this 10 of Cups, happy love energy that we're bringing in. So you just want to remind yourself that that's really the job, the most important job that's going on now, regardless of all the other stuff that we have happen. I also liked in this one, see, she's painting in this magician card. She's outside. She took her paints, her easel, and she's painting a little picture. Because crafts, arts and crafts can also help to ground you. It helps to quiet your mind, because a lot of times it's like kind of fear. We get all fiery and anxious, and then our mind kind of gets us all. So it just tries to remind us to quiet the mind. Pan a lot of times tells me, I'd just rather you be neutral, even if you can't just sit and be sending positive. If you're just neutral, he'd rather that than me to be focusing in on negative. And a lot of times, doing a craft or cooking or garden, whatever that is, something with your hands to create something. You're creating something. You're reminding yourself of who you are, a creator, a magician. And so just practicing that helps to ground you. I've been called to do that a lot the past few months. And I'll just do, I plant tomatoes, I'll plant flowers, I'll even then tending them, watering them, all that energy. And then I'm also doing crafts. I have my table set up with my light and all that. Because that little working, Three of Pentacles, because when you work as a true magician, you're working with spirit to create that which serves everybody to their highest good, ideally. And so they're just reminding you to do that. Or come on and watch one of these shows that you like, because then you're reconnecting with your like-minded family. That immediately grounds you, lifts you up, makes you feel better, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Perfect. And I think Tammy had the best advice that she made for herself. I had to stop thinking negative worst case scenario and rewire my thoughts to only positive. That's exactly it. Good work. And I know what my son had been in a car accident. It was a fairly minor car accident, but they wanted to total his car, and all the dealings with the insurance company and the repair people, and everything turned out fine. But just that not knowing, and as you're saying, the catastrophizing, oh, if I don't have a car, I'm not going to be able to get to work, and then blah, 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 blah. And then our reaction to it, that all turned out just fine, but kind of being able to catch that in the midst of it happening is important, and kind of get things under control.
Easier said than done, but you get better with practice.
Yeah. So good
easier.
work, Tammy.
Yeah.
All right. How about Joyful Journey? Will this new job become a job I'm happy with and stay at for at least a year? Or is another opportunity coming for me? So let's check this out for our friend Joyful Journey.
So you're in the job now.
So, Joyful Journey, I'm not sure if you're close to retirement age, but I do feel like it's longer than a year, but I think it's shorter than 2. But I feel as though you're going to be happy there, but you may find something else while you're there. So you're going to be happy, and it just may not be as fulfilling for you, or maybe not as close to home. But I see you staying there definitely for a year, and close to 2, but not quite 2. And But when you move, it'll be because there's a better opportunity or something closer or something that you like more. It's not anything that you're going to be having to leave or another issue. It's just going to be another thing will be presented to you, another opportunity.
Yeah, I'm getting the same thing. When I asked through the pendulum, it said yes, a year. And when I went back and asked, will you be there for 2 years? It circled. It's meaning maybe, maybe not. But what I was hearing was other opportunities. And so I think I'm getting kind of what Jean was getting too. You'll be in it at least a year. And at least in the first year, the other you'll like this job more than the opportunities that come up in the first year. But after that, it might be time to open your mind and to new opportunities after that. Jean, you look like you had another idea.
No, that's insightful, Joan. I hadn't even considered that she still will have opportunities, but it won't be more than what she'll like this job better during that time. That's interesting. So she'll continue to get those opportunities. Very insightful.
Yeah, you must be putting out good energy, Joyful Journey, that things keep coming your way. How about you, Mark?
I think this is the necessary step to the next thing. I feel like this leads to the next thing. So it's more, temporary, so to speak. But that's like a year temporary. So you get the hangman upside down, but look at him jumping off the thing. So it's like not hanging you up there for a super long time. It's more of a, interim. But here comes this Knight of Swords zooming up. So I feel like that this job connects you to another one. That you kind of need to be in this spot for this opportunity to come to you. And then that leads to an even more suited job. It's additional work that comes from this. So maybe that's why you're thinking, is this going to be, forever? Because it feels like it's more temporary, so to speak. But you need to be there in order to get to the next thing because it's important. That's where you're going to find it out or something. Okay.
Cool. And Joyful Journey says, thank you and welcome to Sharon Sipe. And let's see, Craig Dixon's here, Jill Cinnamon. Thanks everybody for coming. Ella Robichaud, lots of wonderful people here today. Thank you. So let's see. I'm sorry for taking so long here.
Take your time. It's nice saying hello to everybody. And somebody said, Craig, is your home okay? I don't know if there was floods in New Mexico or something going on. I don't know what there was, but they want to make sure that his home is okay. I don't know if he responded.
Yeah.
I did see that it's flooding somewhere really bad here in the United States. It's more up north. I just saw that just before we came on, just a quick, and I mean big time flooding where it washed houses.
I think that was Ohio. I heard that there was some.
No, it's not Ohio. It was more west. Anyway, when I saw it, I went, oh, it's like what Pam was talking about. Like I just keep saying water, water, water. I can't stop. And not only on the coast, but in the middle. And this seemed like that's what it was. It's also happening in Europe too. Another big, huge amount of water.
Well, my basement is a little damp for the first time ever and having to do some issues or some work on that. But let's get on and do a question for Lena Ramirez Singh. Hello, do you see me succeeding my oral computer multiple choice driving tests on the 1st of August? Okay. Okay. I'm going to pass your You saw how long that took. I'm getting yes, but it took a long time to get there. I don't know what that's about. What did you get, Jean?
I got a yes on both. I said oral and computer multiple choice. I said both, and I got yes on both. And what I also heard is they want you to succeed, Lena. They're not going to put like a trick question in there or the most obscure situation of, you know, 3 school buses and 3 lanes across. They're going to ask you the standard questions. They want you to succeed. And then I think the application, the actual physical driving, but all of it's important, but they want you to succeed. I don't think there's going to be any trick questions in there. And you're a smart cookie. You did all your studying already, and you'll do really well.
Yeah. My little guy on the motorbike came out again. Big O, yes. Night of, you know, yep. And the night, I like that it's a wand too, because like spirits got your back. You know, I know I might be silly, but when I have to do things like that, I usually say a little prayer. You know, guide me during this test, help me do my best. You know, watch over me. I always ask spirit for everything all the time. But this is a big yes. The only thing I'm hearing is before you go in, just review your little booklet, just so that that's right on the top of your mind. But you're going to do fine. If you have a little booklet or something. I know when I have to do, you get a book and just to go make sure, I always just read through it to make sure everything's top. And I get that would be a good idea.
Maybe that's what the circling of my pendulum was. You know, prepare, and you'll be just fine.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I'm going to do a shout out for Miss Tara D is here. She's work lurking.
Wonderful.
I hope you're staying cool. Mm-hmm.
That's a beautiful thumbnail. You're looking gorge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Rishi's here.
Here's someone new to our channel, first name, last name, we found out the first name is actually Jessica, which thank you for giving us that. It helps us tune in a little better. So let's see, what do you see for Imad and me and I? We both recognize each other from past lives and feeling deeply. I'm healing my attachment style through this, but still really like him and am obsessing about a long-term potential. Okay. So Jessica and Imad.
So I'm sorry to say, Jessica, I'm not getting a favorable outcome to the question. And what I'm hearing as I'm getting a little bit of a no, I feel as though there's a reason why you're meeting because of the past life sort of energy. Then you're meeting so that there is some sort of a link that will bring you to the next one. It's almost like remember how this feels, remember how you felt, and then go on and you'll meet a new one. But I do feel as though I do feel as though it is definitely a past life connection. I do feel as though you're meant to connect with this individual. I do feel as though you're meant to connect energies for some reason. And I feel as though it's a reminder or a remembrance for you to move on to and remember that connection so that when you feel it in this lifetime, you'll recognize it almost. I hope that makes sense. And I'm sorry. It's hard to say no.
Yeah. That explains what I was seeing. That makes perfect sense because what I saw was Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel, God and Adam. That God is touching Adam's beautifully outstretched finger and animating him, putting the spark of life into him. And that's what you guys are. It's like, I remember what this is. I know what this feeling is. But, Adam had to go do his own thing. He's not going to be staying up on the ceiling with God. It's the remembrance of what that feels like, but maybe not for you two as a couple to go on. But yeah, that's what I was getting. Spark of recognition, you animate each other. It's a connection that brings you both back to life. So you might need to enjoy whatever you have there and learn from it, but step back a little bit and say, is this really the relationship, or is this just reminding me that, you know, how to love and how to have that? And when I pulled cards for you, I got the peacock feather saying inherent wisdom is emerging at this time. Watch it and ready yourself for rebirth. So it is kind of like the Sistine Chapel and coming back to life, becoming reborn in a way. And I also got the Archangel Cassiel, who's saying, face fear and rise. And she has the yin yang symbol right in the middle of her torso there. And it's that sort of male female energy and the balance. Like you're remembering what that relationship was like, and that you can have those feelings again, but kind of having to keep things in balance a little bit. I hope that makes some sense. What did you get, Mark?
Well, I think that you guys bring stuff to each other that's useful, that you have, you're together because you're supposed to be, and that's because you, in some ways, give each other strength. So here's the strength card. But, you know, it's a good thing. You do give each other stuff you need. It feels to me like you're more likely to be friends than, lovers. Now, you might be friends with the benefits. There might be something like that. But as far as like long-term partners, I'm not so sure. Although I do think your friendship can go quite a long ways and in supporting each other. Because ultimately, it seems like you're sort of looking a little bit for different things. Now, but your friend there can support you in your pursuit, and you can support him in his pursuit. It's like you're a good match. I wouldn't even doubt, or you might have been, lovers in another life, but it feels like you're here to support each other a little differently this time, and still love each other, but it's not a marriage thing. I don't think. You're very strong-willed. Here's the Queen of Wands. Have a lot of ideas about what you'd like to do and how you'd like to be, which are all great. But there's some things that you might like to argue about, and like argument might be a big part of your friendship. Now, I'm not talking about a mean, hurt each other. It's kind of like a little fray, like these two Blue Jays are doing. It's, we spar with one another. We don't always agree on every single thing. And, well, what about this part of it? So, but I kind of get like this friendship energy. So I hope that isn't disappointing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it might be friends with occasional benefit.
But definitely you bring out the love vibration in each other, and then other people can, it frees you to find that with other people too.
She said, I
Anyhow.
was feeling the same thing you guys said, but I kept debating the whole whether things are set in stone or not, and if there's a way to change the path or alter the timeline. Yeah, it's not set in stone, but good for you that you were, sort of feeling something different and asking that question. So that's really good discernment on your part, that's just something was missing, something was off. So
yeah.
Thank you.
And of course, there's free will choice, and things can completely change. And we're reading on the energy as it is now, and the outcome we see coming. But sometimes you can just completely change that if you really want to. But it feels like it's going that direction. And now look at this comment.
Yep. She says, I love the friendship energy. I was telling him that I wanted him to be in my life long term and felt that we should keep it more on a friendship level with the chemistry. Wow.
I was almost like, yeah.
I'm so glad. I mean, it's hard to say no. And sometimes you're like, maybe, but it was a no, and I'm glad that you're backing that up.
Yeah,
Good,
because it's
good.
hard to tell somebody no, and then see you already. So I love it. It gave me goosebumps all over my whole body when you wrote that out there.
Thank you.
Last name.
It really means a lot. Okay, let's see. How about,
Friendship can be the greatest and be
oh, this
more
is
long
much.
lived than a romantic relationship, So friendships, yeah. I'm sorry.
Carolyn Adams leaving for a trip to Ireland at the end of the week. Any wisdom for me and from guides or ancestors? All right. Good for you, Carolyn.
I wish Ty's going. Ireland.
I feel like you're taking some of them with you. There's somebody, I feel like somebody wants to jump in your pockets and go with you. I don't know if you have like a memorabilia or a picture of your ancestors, or maybe a hanky of your father's or something that you're bringing with you. But I feel like there's something going in your pocket that you're bringing either ancestors or loved ones with you. So they're going to be on the plane there with you, and experiencing the thrill of the travel and the adventure with you. And I think they're going to be meeting family there too. Like you're going to go to meet your ancestors there, and they're going to go to meet their ancestors there. I feel like they're like they can go anytime, obviously, but the thrill of traveling with you, and the thrill of you, recognizing a name perhaps, or my family came from this village or this part of the, of the country or something like that, or my family was married in this town or something. And I think that they're going to help you to find things. They're going to put your loved ones and ancestors are going to put like breadcrumbs to have you follow, and you'll be like, oh, that's the name of my uncle or something. Like there's going to be surprises and synchronicities, and just drink them in and say thank you. And so I feel like you're taking some of them with you to meet other ones when you get there. But that's where I'm going to stop.
Yeah, I again, my throat chakra just lit up, and I was starting to get goosebumps all over the place. It's about singing. If you're in a pub or something where people are singing traditional songs, or if you're hearing traditional music, join in. And they kept talking about singing traditional songs. The song of the homeland. It's like a siren song drawing you back. There's something about music, song, vibration that's going to draw you further into this experience. So be alert to that. But they are just so excited about you taking this trip. I mean, I was getting head to toe chills. But yeah, it's a way to blend your vibe with them by singing, even if it's with a pint of beer in a pub or something like that. And then from the cards, I got perspective, zoom out and relax. And I would add enjoy. Don't worry about things too much. It's going to be a great trip. And if there are bumps along the way, just zoom out and relax and sing a song. How about you, Mark?
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, kind of go with the flow of it. Like some things, there might be a plan that has to get changed or something, but they just try to go free of burdens, just have a great time. I get the 10 of Wands, but, this is for your spirit as well as everything. It's going to really, what's the word? Stoke you spiritually.
Did you freeze? I'm okay, Joan. Are you okay? I think he froze.
I think Mark is freezing up for just a sec.
Yeah, let's give
Yeah,
him a few seconds.
yeah. If you can hear us, Mark, your image has frozen.
Yeah.
So I'm not quite sure how to deal with this.
That's a neat picture, though. I think that's Pan holding the Ten of Wands, isn't it? For
Yeah,
Carolyn Adams. And
yeah,
I'm dying to hear. I hope he's not continuing. I hope he's waiting for us.
yeah.
I want to know.
I
Uh,
wonder if I should remove him so he will go out and come back in again. Would that? Oh, well, he did it himself.
okay.
Okay. Well, we are looking forward to Mark coming back, but in the meantime,
Yeah.
Carolyn, he'll finish up for you. Let's see. Huh?
Yeah. So, Joan, I just wanted to mention that on Friday, I'm going to have a nice little lineup.
Oh, tell us
And
about it.
while we're waiting, and I have Nancy, a Crohn's Intuition, coming on for the first time, her debut appearance on the SunPsychic Gene Show. And that's going to be at 2 p.m. Eastern on Friday afternoon. And then I'm going to be hosting the Psychic Triad with Terri Suzuki and Terry Lee and myself on that's Friday the 28th at 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific. And then I'm going to be doing a little special of my own, and it's going to be 100% mediumship. And I have a friend of mine who's going to be assisting me so that I can go all the way to that altered state of consciousness and almost mimic like what a little mini mediumship reading would be, and really get that opportunity to go in and get a validation and then go in a little bit more and have a little bit more of an intensive or expansive type of a mediumship reading with people. So we're just going to try it out. I'm not sure and how everybody is going to like it, but I really wanted to practice just that pure mediumship. And that's going to be Friday evening at 6:30 Eastern, which is 3:30 Pacific. And then I have a big lineup on Saturday too. But if anybody's interested, come on back on Friday, and we'll see you then.
That sounds good. And I will be with Allie on Meeting with the Mediums on Thursday afternoon, and that's always
Oh,
fun. Jenny is going to be joining us then, so that'll be fun to do. But I do not see Mark trying to get back in yet. So he's either out there reading and not realizing that he's gone. So
no,
I'm afraid you go
I
right ahead.
think, yeah, I think that we were having power surges,
Okay.
so his internet could be backing up. I'm not sure.
Well, speaking of mediumship, let's go to Jenny Berlin, who said, "Do you have a message from my mom, Betsy? She passed about 20 years ago, and she misses her so much." Yeah. So Jenny and her mom, Betsy.
Oh,
Oh, there he is.
I don't know what happened. It just stopped or something.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
like something with my connection, but it just all of a sudden, I don't know what happened. That was weird.
very odd. It's the energies.
Yeah.
so did you want to try and finish the?
Well, I was just going to tell her it's going to be a great trip. I really feel like, I'm assuming she's from there, from Ireland, but it looks like it's going to be just a real reconnection with her roots, like she mentioned, ancestors, really connecting with them there. This is the Queen of Wands, but look at it. Look at all that greenery and everything all around her, growing up around her legs and everything. Lots of roots, lots of talking about ancestors, spiritual energy, really feeling energized, a lot of fun. I don't know if you're visiting a rock or anything while you're there. Is there a Blarney stone or something like that? but I don't know why. I get that, this is the Ace of Swords. I would never talk about a rock from it, but for some reason, it's talking about if you visit a rock somewhere in your trip, that there's like a spiritual download there or something, that area is special. So I think it's going to be a really fun trip. Sounds great to me. Sorry about got interrupted by.
Quite all right. So let's see. And
Blarney Stone, yeah.
okay.
Is Carolyn Irish? Do you guys know?
I think she has ancestors who are.
Okay.
Let's see if I can. Yes, thanks so much, you said. You are very, very welcome. The Blarney Stone, yes.
So
all right.
Reading on Jenny.
Yeah, let's. Oh, and Jenny's here. Wonderful. So now we're back to you, Jenny. And your mom, Betsy. To me, she's saying, oh, it's just like life. Isn't that just like life? The way we started reading for you and then it was interrupted. She said it's so much easier over there because you can do a zillion things at once. But here we kind of have to try to do one thing at a time. And it makes it so, it's one of the things about, one of the challenges of living in the 3D world. But she's kind of lighthearted about it and said, you're coping very well. Just realize that that's just life. Okay, so do we have anything more personal to say to Jenny? I'm seeing her holding a bag. It almost looks like a sewing bag, but it has these two brown handles, U-shaped hard plastic, sort of like imitation tortoiseshell kind of handles, and then this sort of tapestry, but kind of bag that's attached to it. It's almost like a doctor bag or something. It's more of a purse, but it's more like a satchel. And it's sort of tapestry, but it's yellows and greens and some blue in there. So Betsy, what's in the bag? She's using it as a symbol to say that to always be prepared, and you just kind of never, even though you have the best laid plans, have a plan B and have the Kleenex and the mints or whatever it is in your bag that you're taking with you. And she kind of, I think she did that in life, and she's encouraged, and she's trying to help you do that too. If you're making plans for something, she might be there saying, okay, and if that doesn't work out, then have in mind what you're going to do if that road's closed or whatever it is. She's encouraging you not to spend a lot of time fretting over this kind of stuff, but to, take an umbrella, just do those minimal things so that you'll be prepared, so that when life is happening, you'll be able to take full advantage of it. I was at a jazz fest this weekend and I forgot to take an umbrella. And so I had to leave early and I didn't want to. So it's things like that. She's there coaching you to do the little things that will allow you to get more out of your experience here. How about you, Jean?
Well, you must be psychic, Joan. Because I was picking up, Jenny, I'm not sure if she was a gum chewer, and then I was going to say, or mints. I see like either mints in her car, mints in her purse, or chewing gum or something that she would like kind of like put it in the side of her mouth or slip it in, or she really liked those mints or chewing gum. I can't figure out which one it is. And when you said she had mints in that purse, I was like, oh my gosh. But I do see her in her car. I think she liked her freedom. She liked her driving around. I think that she was responsible but independent. And I'm not sure if she had her kids young, because she seemed like she was independent for a long time. And like you guys were grown up and out of the house by the time she was 45 or something, and she was, you know, still young enough to enjoy the independence and driving around. I'm not sure where she was driving, but I do see her in her car. She loved her car. She's the mints she's showing me. And, you know, I don't want to say too much about her appearance because it could be, you know, in a certain time frame, but I do see her having straighter hair, shorter hair. And, but she's very cheery, very optimistic, and quite determined. It's almost like she always had her mind on what's coming up next. Oh, I have to go here and do this. Oh, that person's. Oh, I have to go run this. Like she always had like the next thing going on, and she was a busy person, and she was social. She enjoyed her friends and her car and her gum and her mints. So I don't know if any. Oh, she did. Oh. Okay, so 16, I guess she had her kids. I don't know what 16 meant. But she did. Okay. So I guess that's
Okay.
car, gum, and mints. Um, so oh, and maybe perhaps even the straight hair she's saying yes to. But
Wonderful.
she's really very optimistic and but independent, and she was almost like she didn't need anybody else to entertain her or to say, okay, did you want to come with me? She'd be like, see you later. You know, she enjoyed that freedom. She almost like had like a second type of a life to herself that she was living after the kids were gone. And not that she didn't miss you guys, but it was she's a beautiful, lovely. I can see her, I can feel her, and she's so warm and lovable. She's she's coming through really strong for me. Oh, you were the
First
first child
child
at
at 16.
16. That's why she was so young when she was an empty nester. Yep. And she said, oh, freedom, you know. Sorry, go ahead, Mark.
She says, I know I've been gone a long time, but we're always connected. You can always connect to me, even if you just imagine that we are connected. She wants to remind you that she's never really gone, and that energetically you can still connect with her, even though it's been a long time. This is the High Priestess. She's talking a little bit about your father. Is your dad on the other side? I'm wondering. I don't know. I feel like she's saying something about him. Were they not together? Was your mother and father together all the time? Your whole life? I mean, your whole childhood? Or was she married more than once or something? I don't know. There's something about your dad she wants to talk about. So there's two things she's talking about. The dad and Jenny. Do you have a partner? Yes, Mark. Yes, Mark, your dad's on the other side. Yeah. Because she wants to say, I feel like your father, in case there were more than one husband or something, she's saying your father, that she and he, no, separated. Okay, yeah, that's making sense. Didn't always see eye to eye, and they argued and fought and just weren't great living together. She liked him and everything. They actually liked each other, but they just couldn't quite live together. Now, yeah, you have a hubby. Okay. Now, I think he's on the other side, if I'm getting what you're saying. And she's saying that we've made amends and worked things out over here on the other side. And we both look out after you. We both, even though we argue and stuff, our love for you, we share, she says. And sometimes I think maybe you felt closer to your mom than your dad, but she's sort of bringing that through, that she wants to bring dad's love through today too. Now she's talking about with your hubby. She likes him. She gives him the Knight of Cups. I think that's why I was asking about your partner, because Mom's talking about him. I think she likes him. I think she thinks he's good for you. She says you're very strong-minded. You can set your sights on what you want. Here's this arrow again. Shoot your arrow and get it. It's like you got him. It sounds a little funny, but she likes, she likes that you got this guy, and she thinks the two of you are a good match. Even if everybody argues from time to time, but she still thinks you're a good match. She also sees like some good energy coming for the two of you. Are we thinking about retiring or something? But she's talking about, well, here's the Ace of Swords, but there's more to come for the two of you, and it looks like some interesting like roads and paths ahead. It's making me think a little bit like we might be getting close to retirement, and we're going to get to sort of start another phase. Six of Swords, a lot of times I'll say moving into calmer waters, but that also kind of is making me think of retirement for some reason. You're going to say, Mark, we're not near retirement. But so she's also saying good times ahead. She likes this partnership. It was more, you picked a partner that you could stay with, and she likes that. It's like you did me better. She likes your wherewithal. You have a powerful, strong mind. You go for what you want. She's really proud of you. She thinks you're a really strong female. I'm retired. Okay. Is maybe hubby's getting ready, because she seems to be talking about that when the two of you it's like a time when you come back together again, strong. It's sort of, what do you call that? A renewal, almost like a renewal of the vows, like becoming renewed in the relationship. I don't know. That's like a real good, approval from the mother-in-law to the son-in-law is what I feel like. Okay.
That was
Wow.
great. Thank you, Jenny, for the question and for your responses too. And I just wanted to make sure, Mark, you saw Carolyn Adams said that they're going to Giant's Causeway too, a big stone formation, and that's where one of her families was from. So that might be the stone that you were seeing too.
Yeah, because why in the world would I talk about rocks from a sword card? It was sticked in a rock, but I'm going, yeah, it's about the rock, Mark. It's not about sword. But anyway, I love that. Well, I think that's going to be pretty magical.
Yeah.
Yeah, around those rocks. Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Okay. We are past an hour. How about we have time for one or two more?
Yep.
Okay. Let's do Teacher Barbara. Jean, I have a specific question for you. What do my guides say about the situation with my daughter? Also, do they feel the same way? Sorry, my keyboard isn't cooperating. Do they have any advice? Okay. The situation with their daughter. And even though you're asking Jean, we're going to all chime in on this one. Teacher Barbara, what do the guides say about the situation with their daughter?
Jean may have.
Yeah, Jean might have more insight
Than we do. But I'll pull cards.
Jean doesn't.
The guides do.
But it's better that way. It's better that way. Even if I did read on it before, I don't have any recollection. So that's fine. It is better that way. Yeah. Thank you, Jenny. And she said, great read, but it's your mom came through like a champ. She came through so beautifully, so full, so strong, so clear. Man, I felt like she was sitting right here with me. I almost like started talking like her. She came through so clear. Wasn't she clear, Mark?
Yes.
Her mom? Oof.
Yep.
And you never know. I don't know if it's the stars that are aligned or what happens, but man, she was coming through good.
Great.
Okay. What's your daughter's name, Teacher Barbara? And I feel as though you two are very similar to one another, and so you either get along really well, or you buck heads uh, because you're so similar. And I mean like sometimes you get along very well, like maybe at holiday dinners or something, you guys work well together. But then when it comes to, are you going to let me use the car? It's like this, you know, like certain times. I feel as though she's a lot like you, and I think she's like uh, vying for her independence, and recognizes that she wants things to be different for her. And in this way, she feels as though the advice or the counsel that you're trying to share with her, or the guidance that you're trying to share with her, she, even if you said, you know, righty tighty, lefty loosey, she would deny it. She would be like, no, you're wrong. That's not right. You know, and I think it's the generation as well, because a lot of these, I don't know if they're rainbow or indigo kids or whatever they're called, crystal kids. The generation that is coming in is extremely independent, and they need to be, because things are going to be different for them. So don't take it to heart or personally if she doesn't take your advice, or that you're bucking heads. It's her practicing her independence and her strengths. It has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with her building her own character, and pulling away from the influence of what was. Because you know how what we say in these energies, what was is no longer going to be, and a lot of things are going to be changing, and moving away from the societal norms, and we're going to have new ways of doing a lot of different things that in our lifetimes. And I'm just being general here, so I don't get into it. But I do feel her. She does love you, but you frustrate each other at the same time. It's like she wishes that you could not tell her what to do, but not um, almost like give her the benefit of the doubt and support her, no matter if she's going to make a mistake or not, no matter if she's going to fail and buy the wrong car or not. Allow her that independence and the support of, you believe you're doing the right thing, and you did all your homework, and let's just see how it turns out. I hope the best for you. And you know, it's your decision, you know. And allow her that space to fall, so that when she does, she'll be like, Mom, I couldn't believe I got the wrong car. And then she'll come to you. You know what I mean? But as long as you tell her that car's not right for you, that car's not right for you, get a different car, she's not going to want to, she doesn't want to hear that. She wants to hear that independence, that I'm independent, that you can support me, that you trust that I have intelligence, even though you have a lot more experience than her. It's not, it's she what she needs more than your experience is your support to allow her to fly a little bit out of the nest. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, that's the hard part about parenting. And when I tuned in, my third eye was lighting up, and I heard the affirmation I usually do for the third eye, and that's see the world with God's eyes. And in this case, I think it means exactly what Jean was saying, that uh, the way God sees, or the way Spirit sees all of our lives, is we're each on our own path, and we each are supposed to be learning different things from whatever the situation is. Even though in your view, it might be the best thing if she does A, she's thinking B, and you're both right, because you're living you're living your own path, and you need to Spirit is encouraging you to see that this is part of her learning opportunity, and a learning opportunity for you to kind of come to this this crossroads, and let each other fulfill the plan that you had planned for each other, by choosing each other as mother and daughter, and by learning from each other. And they're telling me, they brought to mind my saying in raising my son, that I had absolutely no reference point for how to raise this kid. I thought I'd have a kid, and I would just kind of open up his brain and put in everything I knew, close it down, and he'd be fine. Well, it didn't work out that way. They're their own unique selves, and I quickly realized that we were learning together. It's a whole lifetime of learning new things together because he's not me and didn't do things the way I would have done. But I'm a richer person for have learning a different way, to see that there is more than one way to do things, and it's a real challenge when you're in the midst of that, when you kind of think, well, this is what I want to do. So we wish you very, very much the best with that. And as far as the angels are saying, they're sending you the archangel of grace, who says more flow, less hustle. So just kind of give her your best intentions, and then just let things flow. And also the hawk card came out. So this is a very high vibration card that this is maybe perhaps a very important learning opportunity for both of you, because the eyes of the hawk are on you, watching over you and protecting you through this. So you're right to ask a question. This is kind of an important step for both of you, and we wish you the very best in it.
Yeah.
How about you, Mark?
Well, I pulled this one card, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, she just is, looking for more independence. And that was exactly when Jean said that. Like right when I was thinking that, and this card, then Jean said the exact words. And it's just this card of the girl walking outside the car as the car's going. I'm going to go my own way, even though it's walking and the car's a lot faster. And so there's that about her. Now, this isn't that unusual. I feel like this is kind of the communication and the relationship you guys have had since she was little. The Six of Cups kind of goes back to when she was a kid. That's sort of the way you guys have always communicated. I might kill her, or I might hug her. I'm not really sure, because she just pushes my buttons like no other. I love her to pieces, and boy, she aggravates me. I'm saying that in love, and just that comes up with members of our family. I do feel like she is going through a big thing right now, like a personal tower moment. Either it looks like work or relationship, some big old things aren't going the way she likes it. And it's not that fun, because not only did you get the tower, I got the 9 and 10 of swords, which are like worry, fret, the end, it's not good, everything's crappy. I'm just going to go eat worms. So she's having her own personal thing, and kind of like whatever you would say wouldn't be it. No, that doesn't help. No, that's not. No, I'm not going to do that. So it's kind of like you'd like to help, but it just falls on deaf ears. But it's going to, like it always does, it's going to settle down, and you're going to get back to a more cooperative energy. But even when you guys are cooperating and working together, there's a little bit of back and forth that goes on between you. I like this is from Schitt's Creek, but this is when they were trying to make dinner together, but they had to argue about every little part of it. And they love each other, but it's still this kind of back and forth energy. And I think that's kind of, you can tell me I'm wrong, but I feel like that's sort of been it all along a little bit. But your job in this is just, I know we want to save them and make the choices and help them. Yours just to be mom, be there with the cup of love when she needs it, because she is going to go, okay, I'm worn out. Could you just love me today? And she'll be there for that. So, that's what you always do for her. You're always there for her with a cup of nice lemonade, from all the lemon she's been going through. So it's kind of the same advice these guys had. What Joan was saying too about that. What was that card? Stand back and just let it pan out. Yeah, that. Where sometimes you just have to stand there and smile and just let her do it on her own. Just let her do it. I think it would be better if you did this, but kick a lock. You're going to go through it the way you want to. So it's kind of the same thing I think we were all getting, don't you guys?
Yes. Sometimes I almost pierced my tongue just by biting it so I wouldn't say anything.
Wow.
Oh,
sometimes it's
Dean, it's
one offspring, like you have a great relationship with one of the other offspring, but that one in particular is just where it odds a lot or something. I can't quite get the same relationship that I had with this child, that kind of thing too.
Oh, well, thank you for asking the question, and we wish you the very, very best for both you and your daughter. And we wanted to thank everybody for coming today. I think that's going to be our last question. Thanks especially to our moderators, Sharon Sipe and Bora Bora and Jill Sinanon and anyone else that I'm missing. We really appreciate it. And thanks everybody for coming. And we hope that you will see us again sometime. Let's see, when will we be back on? I think we'll be back next Monday, or is it the Monday after that? But just check out our channels and you'll be able to catch us.
Yeah.
Oh.
Next Monday is the Wisdom Circle.
The Wisdom Circle is next Monday.
And then after that, we'll resume the Magic Monday.
It sounds good. Thanks for that. And we'll see you all later. Have a great rest of the week. Bye now.
Guys, thank you.
Bye, everybody. Thanks, Joan.